This is a little trick that we're doing with Porter. It's covering his eyes. Now you can see that I used tape for a prop when we started this, and basically I just kind of put the tape on his nose and then clicked when I saw what was going to happen. So tape goes on the nose and he wipes it off, and I click for that and give him a treat. Now I'm fortunate that Porter likes treats more than he cares about tape on his paw, because whenever I was clicking he was, stopping and taking the treats. Some dogs won't stop and take the treats. They'll just kind of keep getting the tape off. But Porter's food motivated enough and worky enough that he doesn't mind doing that. Now at this point, I'm pretty sure that Porter's just got the tape on his foot and not on his nose anymore, but he's still working with it, so we're going to go with it. Okay, so we did this like 30 more times or so until I felt comfortable enough to take the tape off his paw. So now what I'm going to do is just take the tape off his paw, and we'll see if he can do it without tape. So this is now going into memory, and he can. That's good. So I click for that. That's good too. It's not perfect yet, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be. The fact that he's lifting his foot up to his nose like that is good enough for me at this point. I can always clean it up later, but that's pretty good for first time with tape off his foot. You'll notice that I'm not adding a command yet, and that's because the behavior is not really stable enough to get a command yet. It wouldn't make any difference if we did or we didn't, so we'll do that later. So we're just going to keep practicing and clicking him for putting the foot on the nose, hoping to get a little bit better every time, but just every time he gets it right, this time we're clicking. That was a really cute one, so I'm going to jackpot that one. So at this point I gave him a little bit of a break and started about an hour later, which you can see from the dimmer lighting. We worked in a different room. He needed a little bit help with getting started with the trick, so I actually used a bridge, which was touching his nose with my hand to get him started. By touching his nose with my hand, he got the idea of the tape on his nose, and it sort of brought back that, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do this nose to the foot kind of thing. So just a little bridge, and it worked out quite nicely. So now we're going to start to add a cue, and the cue is "that's embarrassing." So now the dog only gets the click if the trick is preceded by the cue "that's embarrassing." He can do the trick all that he wants to do, but he's never going to get rewarded with it unless I say "that's embarrassing" right before he does it. So this is a little bit of a tricky part for him, especially since he tends to be very, very quick and antsy about things. Like here's a little bit of a temper tantrum because he thought he should have gotten a click and a treat for that one, but he did it by jumping the gun. So this is the next morning, and what you can't see is that he actually started doing the trick as I got out the iPad. The second the iPad came out, he sat down and started doing this trick. So now he's really got to wait until he hears the cue, "that's embarrassing," because I want to, I don't want him to just do this all the time, only when he gets the command "that's embarrassing." But you can see that it's gotten better overnight, not because I've done any more work with it. It's just latent learning at its finest. He rested on it a little bit, he digested it a bit, and then he came back fresh and ready to do it the next morning. So it's looking pretty good.
That's embarrassing. Wait. Put your foot down.
So one more now that he's got his foot down.
That's embarrassing.
And there we go. There's your trick. I hope you have fun teaching it. Porter certainly had fun learning it.